Today, we review my Rex Legend 4. Let's go. Hey everybody, Jason here. I'm back, and today we're going to do a review on the Rex Legend 4 Nitro engine. Let's head over to the bench, get this thing out of the box, and then we will do the review. And we're going to bust out the bat knife to open this thing up and see, I guess, what we get, right? What comes, what kind of equipment I'm going to use. Those type of shenanigans. Let's see what we got here. Looks like it's got some packing peanuts in there, which is cool. Don't want to start getting all tore up, smashing around the box. Uh-oh. All right, I gave it away. You guys know what I'm going to run. So we got a Rossi 9901 pipe. Show you this bad boy. There's the header. Of course, this thing's polished up and looking all sweet and whatnot. So there's, oh, I'm slipping here. So there's the header and the gaskets. Of course, got some springs in there, and then there's the pipe itself. So we'll get this out of the way. And then we've got a t-shirt, it looks like. Oh, sweet, they dialed me in with a t-shirt. I'm stoked about that. Extra large. It's all me. So got a Rex t-shirt. Let's see what else is here. Right in the bottom. Oh, they hooked a couple of glow plugs. Alrighty then. Hopefully I can get the tune close so I don't start tearing glow plugs. And last but not least, haha, the motor. And since we're doing some unboxings, let's zoom in and unbox this motor. Alright, so you can see this is my motor from Rex. It's the Legend 4-port. And let's go ahead and cut the shrink wrap off and get this thing open. This looks pretty darn dialed to me. Ooh, it's got a seal on it. I almost grabbed the bat knife like this. That'd have been great. Cut your finger open in the middle of the video. Fail. Boom. There it is. More Rex decals and motor itself. All right, let's take a look at this thing. Okay, so here's the motor. You can see that the motor's in the bag. Of course, it's got the blue head, and it's got a few different Venturis. And it looks like there's a cap for the carb, possibly. And so I guess that's it. I guess we'll get this thing taken out of the bag. I'll get everything dialed in, and we'll get this thing in my buggy as soon as possible so we can get out, break it in, and do some laps. This is the first engine I've ever owned that was brand new out of the box. And we actually shot a video, Adam Drake and I actually shot a break-in video for this engine, which will hopefully be up on the internet soon. I'm not going to blame anybody, but it's all Adam's fault that it's not out yet. Anyways, I really feel like there are a few different categories that you can really rate these engines by. First of all, I think power is 1. I think its ability to hold a tune or its tunability is 2. And its long-term durability or wear is 3. Now, other people had kind of asked me, hey, are you going to do something like, are you going to talk about mileage and stuff like that? But that is so, mileage is just one of those things that is so dependent on driving style, wheel spin, setup, clutch, how efficient is the drivetrain in the car, the type of bearings you're using. So we're going to leave mileage out of this one for now. Maybe in the future we'll tackle it with another engine, but for now we're just going to talk about basically power, tune, durability, and value. That's really where we're going to leave it. And so I guess we'll start out with value. This thing will cost you about $250 for the motor only, and I think they have a ceramic bearing version that might be just a little bit more, maybe $299. And when you really compare what you're getting in the box compared to, like, say, an OS, it's, you know, $400 or $500. I really feel like you're getting a great value. I really feel like the money that you're trading for the Rex Legend 4 is a great value. I just don't think there's any question about it. I think it's a quality product, and I think that mine performed very well. So for value, we're gonna go ahead and say very, very good. Okay, so the next category is power. Now, when I chose this engine, I chose a 4-port over a 7-port because a lot of my friends had really recommended that I start off with something a little bit more tame. And it was probably a good decision. Out of all the time that I've run this engine, there's only been 2 times that I wish it had a little bit more power. Once when I was in Vegas, I had a little trouble popping over this little double out of a tight 180. And then once we were at Revelation Raceway, I was having trouble making this triple, like I'd make it 1 out of 5 times. And so I wish the engine had a little bit more power. But in the engine's defense, I handed my radio to Adam Drake, and he was able to make the triple at Revelation Raceway every single lap flawlessly, not a problem. So I don't want to say that the engine doesn't have enough power. I want to say that my driving style, I think that I could have used a little bit more power, if that makes sense. So I would say the power that the engine makes is good, but there are clearly engines out there that do make more power, you know, like a Spec 2 or something like that. So anyways, power is good, not great. And then when it comes to tune. Now, I will tell you that I am not a Nitro engine tuner, not even close. If it weren't for friends of mine like Gord Tessman, Adam Drake, Victor Guerrero, these guys have made my Nitro racing experience far better. So guys, if you're watching this, if any of you guys get to watch this, thank you a ton, because without mentors and friends that are skilled and able to do this, Nitro racing probably would have been a nightmare. I see so many guys go out there and struggle with the tune. I don't care which engine you buy. If you're watching this review or any of the other ones, I'm probably going to mention this a lot. It's worth taking the time to find somebody to help teach you how to tune an engine, because there's nothing worse than watching guys that are out there flaming out, or their car's running on, or it won't stay idling. It just, man, Victor, Gord, Adam, thanks a ton, you guys. I can't say thanks enough. So anyways, this engine, literally, you don't, once the tune is close, it's never more than an hour or two in any direction for the most part, wherever I travel here in California. So I would say that its ability to tune and hold a tune is very, very good. In fact, there are, on a couple of different occasions, I went racing without any of those guys, and I never even touched the car. I never touched the needles at all. I just started it up and it ran, and it was really close. It might not have been perfect every time I went on my own, but I was always able to travel around California here or Vegas and start it, run it, race it without touching the needles. So I would say that its ability to hold a tune is very, very good. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about the engine's wear characteristics and its durability. Now, I can't speak specifically from firsthand experience about all Nova motors or all Nova engines in general, but I will say this. This thing has got 5-6 gallons on it, and it is still running very strong. Idle's pretty darn good. You know, I have no complaints about the durability of this engine. Now, I think it's worth mentioning that the more time you take and really break that engine in well, the bearings are going to last longer. It's going to seal better. It's worth taking your time and breaking in an engine right. I see a lot of guys that just idle them for a few tanks and send it out. I don't think that's really a recipe for keeping a motor together very long, and I just don't think that you're going to get as much value out of that engine as you would if you really took your time and broke that engine in properly. The reputation through the pits and through guys I've talked to for the Nova stuff is that it tends to take a little bit longer to break in. It doesn't make quite as much power as some like the super powerful OS motors, but it's definitely something that lasts a little bit longer and tends to do well on fuel mileage. I know I already said I wouldn't talk about fuel mileage, and I'm not gonna get into it right now, but that's just the general consensus that I kind of get from guys in the pits. Okay, let's talk conclusion. Overall, I think the Rex Legend 4 is a good value. I think that it's worth every penny at $250. And I'm impressed. I really don't have any complaints. I think that if you're one of those guys and you're really used to having tons of horsepower, then maybe you should look into a 7-port or a different brand of engine. But if you're a good old-fashioned Nitro racer and you like to just be careful with your mileage, you like the Nova-based products, I think that it's a great value. There's no question about it. On a side note, you know, Adam Drake actually has a new engine. He has a 5-port, which has a little bit more horsepower, obviously, than this Rex Legend 4. And it got a 2-needle carburetor, which I think is actually really nice. I think that if I had to do it all over again and Adam's engine were actually available, I may have actually got my hands on one of those, just because I never touched the mid-range needle on my carb anyways. And I think sometimes the 3-needle carbs can be a little bit intimidating for new guys. But anyways, that's been about it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video just as much as I enjoyed making it. And hopefully we'll do some more Nitro engine reviews soon. I know that I've got an RC Concept and a couple other motors that are kind of in the pipeline for the future. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. I just want to say thanks again for watching my videos. I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed this video, you'd be doing me a huge favor if you could either like, comment, or even better, subscribe. I post a lot of stuff on social media like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. So if you want to catch up with me, I'll post this stuff up for you, and you can come on over, add me as a friend, follow me on Instagram, and you'll be able to see things that just don't make it to YouTube. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.